Sun News Network. It's no stranger to controversy here in Canada. The channel launched in 2011, and it has been heavily criticized for its pro-conservative bias. Now, allegations that the channel was involved in a fake citizenship ceremony broadcast to viewers are coming to light. Currently, there is no hard evidence that the network was actually aware that the citizenship ceremony they were broadcasting was fake. However, the fact that the channel demanded that Canadian Immigration Services hold a ceremony in their studios, rather than sending out one of their reporters to a legitimate ceremony, is a little bit suspect. I have two reports, one from Global National and the other from the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation.
10 new Canadians are taking their oath right now here at our Sun News studio.
It was during National Citizenship Week last October that Immigration Minister Jason Kenney's staff asked his department to squeeze in an extra ceremony live on Sun News.
Raise your hand.
A bureaucrat wondered why the network wasn't covering the already scheduled events in the area, and concerns were raised about gathering enough new Canadians on such short notice. According to a report, someone from Sun Media replied, "Let's do it. We can fake the oath." So Citizenship and Immigration went looking for 10 Canadians willing to reaffirm their citizenship for the Sun cameras. Here they are, flags in hand, or so viewers thought. In another email, a senior communications advisor reportedly wrote, "In the end, we had 3 new citizens attend. I anticipated that it would be a low turnout, so I asked 6 Citizenship and Immigration employees to come to the ceremony so that we'd have the right numbers."
Thanks very much for joining us today.
Today, Jason Kenney's press secretary apologized.
It would seem that both of us have a little bit of egg on our face.
She told the host and later us it was the bureaucrats' fault. Neither the minister's office nor Sun News knew of the last-minute stand-ins.
Candace, appreciate your time today to kind of get us out of a little bit of hot water.
Enforcing is official as stunt double. This is totally shameful.
The opposition isn't buying it.
What the minister's office should have done is tell any news outlet that wants help faking a story to go jump in a fake lake. Is the minister really that far out of the loop with his department?
Today, I became aware that one small reaffirmation ceremony last year had logistical problems and that was poorly dealt with, Mr. Speaker.
Kenney insists he only found out this morning.
The situation was poorly handled, Mr. Speaker. I regret that.
Either way, the fake Canadian citizenship ceremony is already making headlines across the board. Shirley Engel, Global News.
Carol, this story comes from an access to information request that the Canadian press obtained, and through a series of emails they were able to find that this citizenship reaffirmation ceremony, which is a ceremony that any Canadian can do to reaffirm their citizenship, that was broadcast on Sun News Network, as you said, wasn't quite what it was advertised as. There were supposed to be 10 citizens there, new Canadians they were referred to as, to reaffirm their citizenship. Instead, out of those 10 new Canadians, 6 of them were in fact federal bureaucrats. You can see on your screen they're going to be the people with the similar white T-shirts in the TV shots. Jason Kenney's office says that the civil servants were asked to organize this ceremony. It wasn't quite coming together for the date that was wanted. They couldn't quite find enough people to do it. They asked the network to instead attend one of the many ceremonies that were taking place during that week. That wasn't possible. And it became difficult for the civil servants to find people to make available for this. So 6 civil servants jumped in and filled that role instead. There were a number of email exchanges around this event. Let me show you a couple of them. One primarily from a bureaucrat who obviously had some concerns about trying to get it all together. She wrote, "We have to keep in mind that the ceremony should first and foremost be special for a new citizen, most of whom will want family and friends to attend this very special day in their lives." There was another email exchange with someone from a Sun Media address trying to coordinate how it would work. And that person wrote, "Let's do it. We can, quote, fake the oath." So obviously lots of questions about how this came to pass and why it was allowed to happen.
What's the minister saying?
Okay, so the minister's office says that he certainly didn't know anything about this idea that bureaucrats were going to pose as new citizens. They also say that Sun News Network was not informed of this and that they plan to speak with the bureaucrats in question. They say that, listen, this was a well-intentioned move. They were trying to show how citizenship ceremonies work. It obviously just went awry. The minister's office also says that at one point the office tried to shut down the ceremony because it became clear that there wouldn't be enough people, and that the bureaucrats, the public servants, decided to go ahead with it instead because they felt they could get the numbers required. Obviously, though, this has raised the ire of a lot of members of the opposition who wonder if federal bureaucrats couldn't be spending their time doing something perhaps more worthwhile. Here's the NDP's immigration critic.
You know, just a month and a half ago, the Minister of Immigration told Canadians how solemn Canadian citizenship ceremonies are, and in fact they indeed are. And here we have a story of him using fake employees in a deceptive, made-up ceremony to mislead Canadians. You know, that's hypocrisy to a great degree, and it's also very deceptive.
We haven't heard from Jason Kenney yet. We've tried to get him on camera to no avail. Perhaps he'll have something to say in question period.